That was
Was
such a
that it?
good video. No.
I know. Oh, whatever.
The video is Baby Shark Dance with 16 billion
Of
views.
course.
What the hell is that? Baby Shark Dance. I
You
never
don't
seen
know
that.
what that is? What? You've never heard
No,
of Baby
neither is
Shark?
Jason. Jason's shaking his head no either. We're in the same club. He
No,
doesn't
I
know.
know what it is. Are you kidding me?
No,
Haven't
you
you not?
don't.
It's one
Uh,
of the best pop songs ever created in the history of music.
uh,
Baby
I'm
Shark.
kidding.
Voiced
is that-
by the voice actress Nifty from Hazbin Hotel.
Is that right?
Really?
Hmm
I didn't know that. Oh my
No,
God.
see, I
Baby
told you he
Shark.
didn't know that. He didn't know what Baby
I
Shark
didn't know
was.
that. Yeah. But I
That-
did know. You know what? Because I had kids that were the right age when that video was a thing.
How
Yeah.
old are
Yeah.
your kids now?
My kids are 26 and 19.
So are mine. My kids are in their
What?
20s, all of them. So yeah, Cody, Caitlin, and Neil. I should have known that, but I don't. I'm a bad.
Oh man, that's
You're a
awesome.
bad friend. No,
Not fun.
bad friend. I don't. No, I never. No, I thought Baby Shark was. Never mind. I don't know. I'm done. So, what states are you touring in for this phenomenal show?
Oh gosh, I don't have the list in front of me, but like it's in Alaska,
Whoa.
Washington,
Okay.
Oregon, California.
West Coast.
We're going to be in Colorado. We're going to be
Whoa.
in
When in
Kansas
Colorado?
in the spring, and we're going to
Oh, okay.
go. We're in Lone Tree, Colorado. I'm not 100% sure
Okay.
where that is, but I
Well, it's
know
in
that it's
Colorado.
cool. Yeah,
All right.
exactly.
Kind
Are
And
of
you going to
kind of a
be in
big
the New
state.
England area at all?
we are going to be in the New England area. We're going to
Oh.
be in, let's see, we're going to be in Saratoga Springs, which I guess is in New York. We're going to be in
Yep.
Purchase, New York. We're going to be probably in Great Barrington, Massachusetts. We're going to be in New Bedford, Massachusetts.
Oh, that's like an
Oh,
hour
that's
from me.
close. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, maybe close to you.
So,
Well, no,
yeah,
I can always come pick you
Sophia,
up and we can go.
That
I'll
depends
be
like
when.
definitely
interested.
let me know if you
That
want to
depends
come, and I
when.
will let me know if you guys want to
Oh,
come, and I'll totally hook you up. Yeah.
yeah.
Have to check the calendar.
We would have to check the calendar because
Hmm
we do have a lot
I
of
have
things,
like
but
7 more Comic Cons this year.
yes, I
Holy
know.
macaroni.
Hmm
Well, the shows in the Northeast are, I think, mostly in the spring, or at least the New
Oh,
Bedford one is. Yeah.
Mangoat's on it. May
Oh, Mango
2nd.
is right on it. May
There you go.
2nd.
So maybe that's a maybe.
That's a maybe. Yeah.
Because the
And
fan fest is usually around that time.
yeah, and so is
Okay.
Free Comic Book Day. So we
The
would have
handy
to
dandy
check it out.
calendar. Yes, 7 more cons.
Yes.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, we would
I'm
we would
pleased to say
definitely.
that our second performance here in Austin is going to be on International Talk Like a Pirate Day, which is September 19th.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
Oh my
awesome.
God.
That is awesome. Perfect.
That is. All right. So this is going to be a success. I know it already. I could feel it in me bones.
I
See what you did there.
I feel pretty good about it. Am I allowed to talk about the artwork a little bit?
Yes. No, you could. This is your
Okay.
hour. Well, now it's your half hour. Well, this is your hour. You could talk about anything that you want. So if
Okay.
we're asking too many questions and you want to rant, if you want to talk about what you have for breakfast, you talk about what you have for breakfast. This is all about you. So
Thank
talk about the
you.
artwork. Go ahead.
Well, the art I think on this is pretty cool, and because what we did is we got inspired by the pirate comic in this, and then
Oh,
here we are, yeah,
okay.
Watchmen.
Oop, Watchmen, and then we also were inspired by the artwork from this stuff. Let's see, my screen
Oh,
is
Tales of the
backwards.
Oh,
Crypt.
Yeah. And so it's kind of like a middle of the 20th century kind of art style in this thing. And so Johnny is absolutely, I mean, jaw dropping with ink. It's
mhm.
like the detail. I mean, poor Lee coloring it, he's getting it flatted. There's this process in comic book making called flatting, where you basically separate the drawing of each panel into geometric shapes, basically, that then you can kind of color by numbers a little bit in the age of digital coloring. And so there were so many tiny little shapes in this that it was just taking poor Lee. It was a lot. But then the other a lot thing that Lee had to learn was that Johnny's style is this classic halftone style. Am I allowed to like totally geek out on old comic
Yeah,
books?
no, you're allowed to do
Okay, good.
anything you
Yes.
want.
So this is super nerdy, but I think super cool. You simply do not see this anymore, but it's the way comics were printed in the newspaper back in the olden days, and it's the way comic books were printed on that pulp paper. It's a process called halftones, and halftones involve you take four colors and you combine them together to create like hundreds of different colors. And so those four colors are cyan, magenta, yellow, and black. And so the inking obviously is black. And then what Lee did, and he had to learn how to do this with the digitally. They used to do this by hand with these like clear plastic
Felt.
sheets with dots on them, and they would cut them out with X-Acto knives. The women, it was
Oh,
always women who did this in the comic book publishers, and they would lay over on paper these dots. And what happens is when you blend the dots together, just like we all know, the primary colors blended together create all the other colors. It's very similar in printing, and so combining these colors together through a combination of density of dots. I
Mm.
make this up not, creates all these different colors. And so the artwork in both our book and when you see it projected huge on the screen is it's freaking tactile. You know,
mm,
it's like you can feel it on the roughness of it on your eyeballs, you know, and the like so you've got the layers and then you see, you know, when it's blown up on the screen, you can see all the dots, you know, which is kind of, I think, really cool to look at. And then the so it's like ink heavy in the drawing, not heavy like there's a, in other words, there's a lot of detail in the inking, and then these geometric shapes of color will add shadow and add
Hmm.
obviously all the different colors. Um, And Lee, who colors for Marvel, like has never done this before because no one does this anymore, you know. So he had to learn this entire process of doing it, and I have to say, it looks, it honestly looks incredible. And then what Johnny does after we're all done with that part of the process, he then layered in this aging over the whole thing. So what he does, and this is so fun to look at on the page, is he has intentionally made it look as if it's this cheap print job. So like the colors are not overlaid correctly on some pages. Like they're slightly off the way it
mm.
used to be in the newspaper when you'd look at the funnies on a Sunday, you know?
Hmm.
Like
And
shift.
yeah, just a little bit of shifting. And not every page, but some pages, and not so much that it ruins the art or anything, but enough to make you go, huh, wait, is that a mistake? And then what he did is he layered this aging over the whole thing. So every page is like slightly yellowed. I mean, the book looks like it is something that you found in your grandpa's attic that no one has
Mm.
Nice.
looked at in, you know, 50 years or something like that. And then the printing of it, we worked with this printer Marquee, who are amazing to work with. They do lots and lots of indie comic book printing, um, and we picked this like matte paper that has a little bit of texture to it, and so the whole thing is just going to be just wonderful to just flip through. And I mean, and then when you see it projected on the screen, all that aging is still there. So the way we do it in the projected art is I took the paper texture that Johnny used to create the aged look, and I used that as the background of almost every image in the show, so that as the panels kind of play out on the screen, they're playing out over what looks like a really old, you know, piece of comic book paper.
Nice.
So
Do you have a
cool.
sample that you could show us or no?
Gosh,
No, not to
yes.
put you on the spot.
No, 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 it's good. I'm glad you did put me on the spot. So this, we printed this um, as a kind of sample to share with people. But you can see
Wow.
like in the lower left panel on the screen, you could see how there's little flecks of white of the paper over the door.
Yeah.
That is all kind of intentional aging to make it look like it's just not a very good print job, but that's all like intentional. And I realize it's hard to see with a camera, like that the
No,
page
you
is
can see it.
yellowed, but it's yeah, that's the gist of it. And you
Yeah.
can
So
really
I,
see
cool.
like how like the dot pattern, like if you look in the lower right page, Dr. Livesey's face and like in partial shadow there, that's all done with like a layer of like magenta uh, dots. So anyway,
that is just amazing.
Whitey says, nice, classic comic book style. Yes.
yeah,
Very cool. Thank you for showing.
yeah.
Just wow. Now, so how long before we get to our next break? How long from fruit to fruition? Did I say that right? Yeah. How
Fruition?
long? Yeah,
I
there you go.
started this process about in almost exactly a year ago. I mean, sorry, almost exactly 2 years ago is when this process started, and it took me about 3 months. It took me from September of 2024 to the end of the year to make the outline for the thing. And then the script actually came together fairly quickly. And the way I did this script was I wrote it as if it was a screenplay because I knew ultimately how this thing would play out live. And in April of 2025, we did a workshop presentation of the screenplay um, where we didn't have any of the artwork done yet at this point, or we had 4 pages of art done so that I could raise money for this thing. Um, and but what we did was we had like 7 actors doing all the voices because I knew it would be way too confusing for people without the visuals, if only 3 actors were doing all the voices. And then we had my buddy Buzz Moran, who's created all the sound effects for this thing. And by the way, here was the little seagull that I was talking about earlier. Let's see if we can hear this. Can you hear that?
Oh my. Yes, we could hear that. That's
Isn't that
awesome.
cool?
A
So wait, so why,
unicorn.
yeah, why is
Uh,
what is it a unicorn? Is there like a story?
Well, yes, there is a little bit of a story to the unicorn. One, it's insane that this object makes that sound uh,
Mm-hmm.
at all. But this was a gift, not this one, but another one very similar to it was given as a gift to my buddy Buzz, who created all the sound effects for the show. And when I started sharing with him the different sound effects that I wanted in the production, he came over to my house with a unicorn just like this and was like, "You're not going to believe this. I've been holding on to this thing for years for the opportunity to make the seagull sound." And so, anyway, I mean, it's so awesome because who would think that this would
Yeah,
make that?
yeah. That's
So,
awesome. Hmm.
anyway, so we did this presentation with Buzz doing all the sound effects and 7 voice actors, and then our composer Sam Lippman. Basically, he had written some themes, but basically improvising the score on piano in front of an invited audience of about 30 people. And from there, I was able to get the script finished. And then I guess starting that a month later is when Johnny started doing the art. The
wow.
art was finished last where are we in August? The art was finished like almost exactly a month ago. So
Wow.
it took like 14 months for him to make all of that artwork. And I want to be really clear about this. No AI was involved with the making of this thing.
Okay.
Um, this is all human effort. And in the meantime, what I was doing was piecing together this thing as if it were a film. This was such a cool part of the process for me. I've been making theater for many, many years now, and I've made some movies as well, but I've never had the opportunity to shape a play using the techniques that I know as a filmmaker. And I was able to do that with this because of the artwork. And so what I did is I would edit reels together the way you do in a movie,
Mhm.
which is basically like 10-minute, 12-minute chunks. what I did is I took the artwork from the book and then put